question for Coach.
All right, what do we got?
Coach, an update on Damon. Is he going to play this weekend?
Yeah, he did a good job. He's in the yellow jersey today. We ran him Tuesday at practice. We'll see. It's a contact injury. I think that's the hard part. So, love to see him out there. He's doing everything he can to prepare to play mentally and physically. So, I thought it was a good day for a Wednesday.
How much of your calculus with him is it's a contact injury at a contact position, and ribs are a spot where running backs tend to take a beating?
You use calculus because I'm a math guy. I can relate to that. I love it. It's part of the position. That was the thing I talked about on Monday at the press conference is his normal Tuesdays, Wednesdays are always going to be a little bit slower because of the volume, but he's tough, he's focused, he wants to be out there. So I thought today was a step in the positive direction.
Does it enter the equation also that the game after is a Thursday night game that's a quick turnaround?
No, one game at a time. One game at a time. We're focused on one moment and what we need to do for him and for the team to go out there and get a win.
Did your team in general respond the way you'd want them to after the way?
That's the question I wanted, Les. That's the question I wanted, okay? Tuesday we came out and it was substandard, right? And, we had a conversation after practice about the way we need to prepare, right? And then today, you could feel it the moment they walked in the building. You could see it when they're out there. You could smell it, you could taste it, that it mattered to them, right? So my point to them is it's got to show up all the time. I expected a stronger response on a Tuesday coming off that performance, right? So, our guys are learning. We're getting used to the way we practice and our demands and what we expect. But as we continue to build our program, those are the things that got to continue to elevate. So I thought today was really sharp, really energetic, ultra competitive, and we got to make Tuesday that way as well.
How frustrating is it for you to see not the response you wanted on Tuesday? You've got a limited amount of time in the season, right?
Yeah, I guess my point to them is, toughness as a collective is about how hard it is to break you, right? And how you got to be in a constant state of response. So, it's just, we're just teaching these guys, right? People forget, right? And sometimes I got to remind myself, it's year one, it's week two, everything's got to be learned and taught. And I think our guys have a high want to. We just got to make sure the standard is really clear on what we expect, and then they got to take over and go do it.
Coach, from the offensive perspective, you mentioned after the game that you guys are kind of, once Damon went out, we were kind of figuring some things out. How have you liked their kind of response to the idea that he might not be here with us this weekend, and we're going to have other guys step up?
Well, I think that it's a good lesson for every position, and I think what Ty Clark went out there and did in the moment, going from thinking he's getting 10 reps to getting 45 was important. Really glad Jamario's here. He gives us another great runner and a spark. So it's just another example to everybody on the team, regardless of your role right now, are you preparing like you're the guy? And, we talk about a team mentality. Rule number one is no one is bigger than the team, right? So when someone goes down, we got to keep forging ahead. We understand as a collective what Damon means to us. That's not what that's about, right? He's really important. Him not being out there affects the game dramatically. I get that. But we got to just make sure our mentality is to keep swinging. So I thought there was that little bit of the lull in game day. And I think now our guys realize, hey, man, whatever happens, we got to go. And George Stye is a great example of that. Clint went down. He's ready to step into that starting role, and we can't miss a beat.
Who are the next up guys on the offensive line?
We were talking about that a little bit yesterday, to be the week two and be a little bit thin at that position, one that we thought we'd be strong at. Jamarian Kennedy, Jack Hines, Aiden Martin, Elliot Demain have been taking the 2 reps at tackle. Stye will still be our Swiss Army knife if needed, right? He'll probably still be bumping out to be in the first tackle. Uber's still out since fall camp, so it's been tough at that position. We've done some unique things practice-wise to make sure that we're staying healthy and still getting the volume we need.
Is Uber out long-term, or is that week to week?
We're working on it. Right now, it'll still be a couple more weeks, and it'll be a better question after the bye week.
Any other guys you think that are dinged going in or coming out that this week that we might be able to see?
No, everyone else will be right back out there.
How has Robbie responded to whatever you've wanted him to do?
I think really, really positive way, because quarterback's a unique position. You got to give these guys the messages they need, and they got to see themselves doing things that they need to, do better next time. So some situational awareness stuff and some things that we talked about, I think he's responded very well. Just looking through his preparation, now being on a normal week, everything's accelerated. So good to see him in the building, you know, early in the morning, late at night, and working through his progressions. And well, he's a smart quarterback, you know, so it's been good to see him respond to everything so far.
How late were you up Friday night watching the tape, and how valuable 60 minutes worth of action was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we said going into the game. We got to see where our team's at, you know, and we got a baseline. Do I think we can play better? Hell yeah. Will we? Yes. And our guys took it to heart, to know that we want to do more things than what we showed on tape. So, but it still was a win. You know, you watched it right away just so you can sleep a little bit to clear the mechanism, because as coaches, we're problem solvers, right? And I said it on Monday, I'm never going to stand in here and make excuses. I believe in this team. I believe we can out-execute anybody, but we all got to do our jobs. And it wasn't to the standard of what we're capable of being. So that's energizing to me. To show back up at work with an extra day to plan and prepare for this opponent, and we're going to be ready to go come Saturday.
That's good.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys.
you.
Go Digs.